We want to throw a frightening statistic your way. Studies show that every day, 123 people die by suicide.
That's 123 people every day who feel like they have nowhere to turn. 123 people who've lost hope of escaping whatever burden gripped their life. And 123 people who need to know that help is available.
One of those resources is the Life Crisis Center in Salisbury.
Abigail Marsh is the center's executive director. Ron Pilling works with Jesse's Paddle. Both organizations are part of the Suicide Prevention Coalition of the Lower Shore. Thank you both for being here this afternoon.
Thank you.
I keep looking down at this. Suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the United States. This is a real problem that needs to be addressed, and that's what the coalition is doing?
That's what the coalition is doing here in the Tri-County community. Yes, I mean, Life Crisis Center answers the National Suicide Lifeline, and we recognize that joining in partnerships is the way that we can get things accomplished here on the shore. So Jesse's Paddle, Life Crisis Center, all of the local health departments, numerous other agencies have joined forces in the Suicide Prevention Coalition of the Lower Shore to try to make an impact on this issue in our community.
And Ron, just for those who may not know, explain Jesse's Paddle.
Jesse's Paddle is the trademark of the Jesse Clump Memorial Fund. The fund was founded in 2009 after a young 17-year-old senior at Snow Hill High School took his own life, and his mom, Kim, decided that she was going to make the best of it, turn that somehow into a positive outreach program.
Yeah.
Now, the loved ones of people that contemplate suicide often have no idea that they're going through something, right?
That's true. And Kim would certainly, my colleague Kim Klump would certainly echo that. She didn't see it coming when Jesse took his own life. There's a stigma that surrounds mental illness and suicide that prevents people from thinking about it, from talking about it, from even considering that someone close to them might be at risk of suicide. Oh, he would never do that. Oh, suicide, she would never do that. Plus, we have a lot of excuses not to address it. In the case of a young person, oh, it's teenage angst, all teenagers go through that. Or in the case of an older person, well, he's between jobs and that's stressful, he'll get over it. That's why we teach, whenever we have the opportunity, we teach people to recognize the risk factors that might lead someone down the road to consider suicide, and the warning signs that could tell you that a suicide might be imminent.
So what are some of those warning signs?
Your friend comes to you, Lisa, and says, can you take care of my dog when I can no longer do it? Giving away valued possessions. Thoughts talking about death. In the case of a young person, maybe drawing pictures about death, saying things like, oh, everybody would be better if I weren't around. Feelings of worthlessness, purposelessness, losing interest in things that you knew had once given someone pleasure.
So how do you tell someone that you're worried about them once you do see these signs?
Well, assuming you see the signs, and the more signs you see, and especially maybe if you know that the means of suicide is at hand, are there guns in the house? Don't be afraid to ask about it and use the word suicide. You know, we're not going to say, are you thinking about hurting yourself? Are you thinking about doing yourself some harm? Are you thinking about suicide? Countless studies have shown that using the word suicide is not going to put the idea in somebody's head. They're not going to say, oh, yeah, there's a good idea. So be direct, be understanding, do not be judgmental. Ask a couple other questions. Have you decided how you're going to do it? Where you're going to do it? If there's a plan, it's an indication that maybe it's a little more serious.
Okay.
Abigail, tell us about the film Suicide: The Ripple Effect.
So Kevin Hines is a gentleman who, at the age of 19, attempted suicide off the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco and survived it. And he's only 1% of individuals that survive jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge. And he has made it his life's mission to help educate and bring hope to people about the survival. I mean, he's actually, he realizes that something special happened for him, that he survived it, and he wants to share that with others.
Now there's an opportunity for the community to watch this for free, right?
That's correct. So next week, actually on the 12th of September, the Ripple of Suicide, the Ripple Effect will be shown at Warwick Community College at 6 p.m. And on Thursday, it'll be shown at Salisbury University at Holloway Hall at 6 p.m. And both of those are free and open to the public. And we encourage people to come. I will say seating is going to be limited. So, I would get there early if you plan to come. And we will have a panel discussion, and it's going to be a really good event, I think, for the community.
What do you hope people will take away from this film?
So, hope, that there is hope, number one. And number two, really a call to action. So, learn as much as you can about mental health, and then talk about it. Have a conversation and actually help someone. Coretta Scott King said, "The greatness of a community is best measured by the compassionate actions of its members." So finding out about what you can do and learning about mental health, and then actually reaching out that helping hand and helping someone.
All right, well, let's go over the details of when people can see the film. There are two opportunities, September 12th at 6 p.m. at Warwick Community College in Salisbury, and then again September 13th at 6 p.m. at Salisbury University. Where at Salisbury? Is there a particular
Holloway Hall.
Holloway Hall. All right, Abigail Marsh and Ron Pilling, thank you so much for coming in and talking about this very, very important subject. Hopefully it'll spark a conversation, more conversations that need to be made.